Hello, guys and gals. I had a guy ask me a question. One of my videos back when I think I was, what was I doing? I had to go back down to Louisiana. Oh yeah, to get my servos changed and all. And I was having trouble with the switchover from localizer ILS automatically going to green needles. It was a software issue. They changed my software, my 650XI, and got me 2 new G5s. They weren't talking together just right for that, for some reason. Doing everything else right, but they fixed me up with all that and then changed my servos. They had a recall on the servos, so I got all 3 new servos. And the guy was asking me, since I was having trouble, did I hash all that out? And I said, yep. Yeah, it all works great. And he asked me, he said, can you activate VNAV on the autopilot and then have your approach in there, go on approach on an ILS or a localizer? Will it do all that and still switch over? Or do you push the approach button and take the nav off because it's still a magenta needles? And I said, no. I actually called the guy because it was just too much to type. I says, no, you can't do that. So when you're doing the localizer, the ILS, you're on magenta needles because it's basically RNAVing until you come within a certain degree on your needle for the ILS or the localizer, I should say, the localizer. Once it establishes that you're going to intercept the localizer, it'll automatically do the switch over then. But you have to remember to manually go to the nav function on your 650 or 750, and you look at the localizer frequency, and you have to put it in active. It'll just put it in standby and tell you that's it. It'll look it up for you, but you have to physically switch it over into the active mode. That's really the only thing you got to do. So yes, it will. You can do activate VNAV, and once it starts going down, if they've cleared you for the approach, you can activate the approach, dial down to the lowest in the approach, and it'll VNAV, and it'll keep going around on the RNAV section. So it's magenta, magenta needles. So I'll do it today. You'll see. We'll get up in there and I'll shoot the ILS back in here to Davenport. We'll do a VNAV down to it. I'll activate approach, dial down. I think it's 2,700 feet at the VOR. And then it goes to the final approach fix, which is 2,700, but it's an outbound course because you got to do a course reversal. And then you come back to the final approach fix. So I think it's 2,700, and then stay 2,700 until you catch a glide path. So in the procedure turn, once the aircraft starts coming around on a procedure turn and you know you've got everything set right, you do your scan, whether it's a G5 or G3X touch, whatever, make sure you put your scoreboard in that scan. And once you start making that procedure turn and you're getting close and that needle starts to swing in for the localizer, at that point, it'll automatically go to green needles for you. And then you're good as gold then, right? It will do that. I've only done that a couple times on a VFR day. I don't do it because I don't like it. It's great, and if you do it, that's fine. Everybody's different. I like to be in more command of the aircraft, so I don't like just sitting there and verifying it's doing what it's doing. I like to be punching buttons and doing and verifying while it's doing it because it keeps me busy. That's the way I'm used to flying. It's just everybody's got their own way of doing it. So yes, it will do it. It'll do a VNAV. It'll grab the approach. It'll automatically switch you over to the localizer, It'll automatically catch your glide path, bring you down. It'll do the whole thing for you, hands free. Once you switch over, you got to remember to switch over the ILS or the localizer frequency into the active, because it's in standby. You got to physically do it. It's the only really button you got to push, as far as I know. But I'll go up there and we'll do that today. I'll try to let it do everything, because I would never do that. The only time I do it is like today, ain't a cloud in the sky. VFR, fine. You know, I play around with it all the time. But when it gets to where I know I'm going to be in the clouds and it's a lower ceiling, you know, if it's marginal or below, I won't play that. I just do it the old school way, put my orange sticky note up on the panel and all that. But out here, it's good to know which buttons to push and whether it'll work or not. So let's go up there and I'll pull her out and we'll go up there and I'll take instead of having the wing camera on the wing, I'll have it in my lap and I'll try to video the G5 and the needle switch over and the 650 and all. I'll try to do that best I can where you can kind of actually see it in action. Let's go. Hello again, guys and gals. Welcome aboard. We're going to go up and do that ILS thing we was talking about earlier. See if it does it. Davenport traffic, Dakota 19 Mike, taxi from the T's, runway 33, Davenport. Got a few planes in the pattern.
Cardinal 400 Lima, turning final for runway 33, Davenport.
And that's the opposite runway. The active's 33, so coming back in on 15, that will definitely cause a problem if there's planes in the coming in, you know, for the pattern or otherwise. So we'll play it by ear. So far, I'll just tell Quad Cities we're doing a ILS to 15 back here in the Davenport Circle to land 33. If I got time to squeeze that in. Might not. We'll give it a try, though. What a beautiful day. Beautiful day to fly. Michelle and Maddie and Cookie, excuse me, they're at the zoo over in Chicago. Drove out there yesterday. Going to be there today and do some shopping and kind of a girl trip, you know. You come back tomorrow. Well, I did all my checks and everything, so checklist is all done.
Davenport traffic, 823 Charlie Whiskey, gonna cross midfield, enter left downwind, runway 33, Davenport traffic.
Well, there's two of them in the pattern. We'll see if these two guys are full stops or practicing.
Davenport traffic, Cardinal 400 Lima, departing runway 33, Davenport.
He's in the Cardinal. Evidently he's practicing, doing some touch and goes. I'll go ahead and load the procedure. ILS 15, and we'll do the CVA. We'll do the CVA Davenport VOR, and we'll just load it. Make sure it's all in there. Yeah. All right, so we're going to go out towards Clinton, and we'll level off 3,500 and tell Quad Cities what we're going to do. We'll get everything set up like that.
Davenport traffic, Cardinal 400 Lima is departing the area, heading out towards the west, Davenport.
Here we go. T's and P's are green. Airspeed's alive.
Davenport traffic, 823 Charlie Whiskey, turning left base, final, runway 33, Davenport traffic.
It's hot out here today for sure. All right, we'll switch on over to Quad Cities. Now, usually I leave that manifold pressure in, but I'm not going very high, just staying around here, so I'll leave it about 4 or 5 over squared. All right, landing lights coming off. We'll get on up now. We got out of some good air. Good, clean, cool air right here. All right, flaps we didn't do. Props reduced, landing light is off, strobes are off. All right, we'll take us a little turn out towards the northeast now. About 060 on the heading. About 800 more feet to go till we level off at 3,500. I'm going to use this to kind of see if it makes more sense. I hope that comes out. It's quite hazy today for sure. That's why it's so smooth right here. All right, I don't see nobody else playing in the pattern there. All right, 200 feet to go. Everything's green, looking good. Leveling off. Fuel pumps off. We'll do our checklist. Prop, we can come off it even a little bit more, about 2140 or so. Fuel pump is off. Mixture, we got to go lean a peak. There we are, lean a peak. Engine parameters are all normal, green, good to go. Verify fuel flow. 4. Okay. Well, Quad City sure is quiet. All right, we're at 3,500. Let me bring up my charts here.
Approach Medevac Logistics 304 is descending to 11,000 with the weather at Iowa City.
Medevac Logistics 304, Quad City approach, altimeter is 3004, and descend and maintain 6,000.
6,000, Medevac Logistics 304.
Okay. We're at 3,500, so we need to lose a little altitude. I'll bring it back down a little bit better. Let's go to 3,000. And we'll start it from there, and that way we ain't got to lose about 300 feet. All right. I'll turn towards the VOR. We passed it up a little bit, which is good.
Sky High 4352 Romeo, contact tower 119.4. Good morning. Thanks.
We'll go about to the river out here. Give ourselves plenty of time so I can video everything. All right, that looks about right. Make us a turn away from Clinton here, kind of get us going toward the VOR. Turn to about a heading of 180 here.
Sirius 411 Tango Hotel, Quad City approach, altimeter 3004.
All right, so let's say we're getting close to it here. Let me get on with Quad Cities. Quad's approach, Dakota 691 Mike.
Dakota 6-9er Mike, Quad City approach, altimeter 3004, say altitude and request.
04 on the meter, level 3,000. I'm almost to CVA off of Davenport. I want to shoot the ILS 15, I'm going to circle to land to 33. Starting at CVA, it'll be a full stop.
Dakota 19er Mike, roger, squawk 4535.
4535. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this monkey. Davenport VOR, direct, activate.
Dakota 19er Mike, radar contact 4 miles east of the Davenport VOR, and I show altitude at 3,000, is that correct?
3,000 is correct, 4 Mike.
Dakota 19er Mike, roger, altitude checks, and you said you wanted the Davenport VOR transition for the ILS?
That's affirmative, 4 Mike.
Dakota 19er Mike, roger. 3 miles from the Davenport VOR, maintain VFR, cleared for the ILS 15 approach at the Davenport Airport.
Clear for the approach, 19 Mike. All right. So, might be too close, but I hope not. So I'm checking the scoreboard there. GPS is on. It's on nav. Autopilot's on. Altitude's 3,000. VNAV's in Q. And my selected VNAV altitude is 2,700. That's how I got that set up there. Nav is on. So basically the approach is kind of activated now in the 650. So what I want to do next, I want to go over to the nav part. There it is. It automatically identified the ILS, the localizer, so I need to put that in active. Okay? So that's done. A little bumpy. So I got a little too close to the VOR when I activated VNAV. It's in Q, but I did it too close. So what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and tell it vertical speed. Set it for 500 feet a minute. And I'll leave VNAV on. So you see in the scoreboard now, as she's making a turn, we're crossing the VOR. GPS, autopilot's on, vertical speed's active. VNAV and altitude select is in Q. Altitude select is blinking because we're coming up on 2,700. And we've been cleared for the approach, so I'm going to go ahead and mash approach. So now I got the localizer. I'll turn VNAV off because we passed that up. Now I got the localizer in Q. GPS is armed. Autopilot's on. Altitude is 2,700, and that's the altitude we need to be at for the rest of the approach, so I'll leave it there. If it wasn't, I'd dial it on down. Glide slope is in Q. So everything's activated there. And see, she's still in the nav mode, right? As you see, my HSI down there is still magenta. And we'll look at the flight plan. Going to OTAL, right? So let's go back to the map. Zoom it out. And you see there's the procedure turn. It's got a little bumpy now. So she's going to do the procedure turn when she passes OTAL. And all that should be done on magenta needles. And when that localizer needle starts coming in, it'll automatically switch over. And you got to remember, you got to put that active in the active on the nav side. It put it in the standby for me. But I had to switch it over. That's all you got to do. You don't really have to punch nothing else. And there you can put it on the default page if you want. I like that one too. Tells me everything that's going on. And when it switches to green needles for the localizer, that'll actually be green right here. And you check in when terminal phase GPS is on. All that'll change over.
1173 whiskey.
If not, that's where you hit CDI button and manually change it over.
Approach, altimeter 3004.
But it'll do it by itself.
00473 whiskey.
All right, we're 2.5 miles from OTAL, which is the final approach fix, but for us, it's an Initial approach fixed because
Logistics 304.
we're going to use that for an outbound turn to do a procedure turn.
Medevac Logistics
Outbound for a
304,
procedure
clear
turn.
direct Bucky.
And come right back
Direct
to it
Bucky,
for the
thanks,
final
Medevac
approach.
Logistics 304.
One and a half miles. One mile. She'll tell us down there in the right-hand corner. There it goes, right to 328 degrees in 5 seconds.
Medevac Logistics 304, contact Cedar Rapids approach 119.7, and they should have lower for you in just a little bit. Have a good morning.
119.7, and good morning to you, Medevac Logistics 304.
Thank you.
There's a procedure turn on the iPad, which is not what I go by. I go by this. See, there it is.
Got 693 Quad City departure, radar contact, and did you need assistance with the maintenance issue, or are you guys good to start your turn towards O'Hare?
All right, so we'll keep it. I'll keep it on this G5.
Very good.
Both
Climb maintain
G5s. That's the important part
10,000,
right
turn
now
left direct, Wynette intersection.
for purposes of what we're doing here. All right, we're getting close to the procedure turn. I'm going to come out to about 18 inches of manifold pressure, start slowing down to flat speed.
Velocity approach, runway 35, 39, 10,700, leveling 10,000. We have India.
Envoy 3539 Quad City approach, clear direct K's for visual approach
All right,
to runway
left to
27, descend and
283
maintain
now
3000.
for the procedure
Just
turn.
3,000, runway 3539, we're looking for that K's. Any chance for any fixes on the RNAV for 27?
Localizer
Envoy
glide slope is
3539,
in
no
queue.
problem, clear
We're
direct
still running on
Austin,
GPS
Oscar
needles.
Tango Tango Echo November, I believe.
Copy, we're direct Austin now, runway 3539.
All right, we are in the procedure turn now. So we're going away from the final approach course.
Good morning, Quad Cities.
And when we make that turn to come back toward inbound,
532 Echo Quad City approach, good morning.
she
Altimeter
ought to switch over
3004,
when the needle
and I
starts
show
to swing in.
altitude 4,500, is that correct?
Affirmative. 532 Echo at 4,500. Altimeter at 3004.
All right, I'm at 96
Correct.
knots. Which is my flap speed, close enough. Like to be around 100 knots for my flap speed.
Skywest 5693, contact Chicago Center 118.75. Good morning.
All right, making that right-hand turn to 149 degrees now, which is the inbound course. Got to be within so many degrees to get that needle, you know? So this is like they would be vectoring us within that 30-degree mark of the final approach course. Set that bug to the reciprocal. There we go, boom. She just switched over to green needles. Localizer's active, glide slope is in Q. And you look back over here now, it tells us terminal phase V-lock. So you know what's going to happen. We're going to catch that glide slope, bring us right on down. So I'm going to stop filming that business. All right, gas, undercarriage, mixture prop seat belts. Go ahead and get the prop now. As soon as that glide slope starts coming in, I'm going to peel off the approach.
Dakota 69er, 19er Mike, is this going to be full stop at Davenport?
Full stop, I can go ahead and terminate.
Dakota 19er Mike, roger. Before you go, I do show an aircraft about a mile northwest of the field. Altitude indicates 1,700. Radar service terminated. Squawk VFR and change to advisory frequency approved. Good morning.
All right, I'll be looking for him. 19er Mike, good morning. VFR, go back over to Davenport. All right, the glide slope is coming in. Approaching no tail. There's my 90 knots. Flaps 1. All right, so at this point here, I'm done. I don't have to do nothing but just fly that glide slope right on down. You can see the runway out there. I'll go ahead and put my landing light and my collisions on. Glide slope is almost there. And the glide slope is now
Davenport traffic, Cardinal 400 Lima, turning base for runway 33, Davenport.
All right, so we're going down. Glide slope's done. That's all good. That Cardinal's out playing around having a good time today, ain't he? All right, gas undercarriage, mixture, prop, seat belts.
Davenport traffic, Cardinal 400 Lima is clear of runway 33 on Charlie, taxiing to the self-service fuel, Davenport.
Galesburg traffic, cruise 143 Bravo Delta, over
flaps
the top 2.8, Galesburg.
Davenport traffic, Warrior 800 Victor Victor is departing runway 33 to the north, Davenport.
I'll switch my needles back over because I can't turn the ESP off with it on green needles. All right, somebody coming up to 33 to take off.
You over Galesburg?
Oh, we got plenty of time. He's taking off.
Whiteside traffic, cap 1183 is 4 miles south. We'll enter left downwind for 25 Whiteside.
Davenport traffic, Dakota 19 Mike, left base 33, Davenport. Flaps 2. All right, gas, undercarriage, mixture prop seat belts. Thank you, Lord, for this day. I don't deserve it, but I thank you for it. What a beautiful day. To fly or do anything. Amen. Glory to God and all his creations. Am I right? You know I am. Davenport traffic, Dakota 19 Mike, turning final 33 full stop, Davenport. All right, 80 knots. Perfect. Runway's made, full flaps. Gas undercarriage, mixture prop seat belts.
Victor Victor is departing the traffic pattern to the north, Davenport.
500. 10 runway 33.
Davenport traffic, King Air 30 Mike Yankee, taxi runway 33 via Alpha, Davenport.
All right, 70 knots. A little bit of a crosswind, not much. Nothing we can't handle in this Dakota. Doggone hawks is flying out too today. Gotta watch them birds. Little gust. All right, she's settling in nicely now.
White side traffic, Cap 1183.
69 knots, perfect. Perfect. All right, landing lights coming on. What a beautiful day to fly. I know I said that. I just can't get over this day. It's just absolutely wonderful. Davenport traffic to go to 19 Mike clear of all runways, taxi the T's, Davenport. All right, let's get some Jesus breath in here. It's not hot by any means. It's like 73, 75. Let's see. Outside air temperature's, well, it's 85 here. Wasn't bad up there. It'll warm up a little bit, you know, with no wind hardly blowing. But, boy, I tell you, it's been really hot here. Like, there were some days, I ain't playing. It was South Louisiana days up in here. I had these Yankees looking at me going, boy, I bet you used to this, ain't you? And I said, oh, yeah. And I'd turn around and go, oh, no. I don't like this business. That's why I like it here in Iowa. You got 4 seasons. I ain't used to that. Still ain't used to it, but I love it every time it rolls
Airport
around.
traffic, King Air 30 Mike Yankee, taking runway 33, going to be a right turn out to the northeast, Airport.
You know, it seems like every time you start constantly saying, or a lot, I'm sick of this hot weather. Fall's here. You know? And then the wintertime comes. I save all my complaining for then. But it really doesn't last that long. And if you dress for it, it's okay. I mean, it got days there that'll put you in your place. I guarantee it. There's days I can't leave the house. But there's not that many of them, truly. And it doesn't last long. Before you know it, you're sick of the wintertime, spring rolls around. And you got to deal with the mud and whatnot. Tired of dealing with the mud and stuff. Then summer rolls around. It just all works out good. Because where I'm from, you hot. I'd say 350 days a year. You're hot. Well, we're back at the hangar, boys and girls. Thank y'all for coming along with me.
Airport traffic, King Air 30 Mike Yankee, right turn off runway 33.
I was supposed to be in Orlando this week. I had a flight planned down to Orlando. It got canceled. That's okay. Because when I have to cancel a flight, all that does is put me back on my iPad. I'll be thinking about another one, right? Don't forget to comment. I like it when y'all comment. Tell me if I'm acting stupid or whatever. Subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's okay too. Till next time, see ya.